Hello. Welcome back to another episode of GTNH. How's everybody doing? Pretty chill day today. I didn't really do much. Just, work from home as usual. And also, recovering from all the hiking I've been doing this past week, over the weekend as well. Yeah, when I took that other hike yesterday, I was only able to do 3 miles. And then I started feeling fatigued, which means that I'm not 100% recovered yet, right? But that's how it is, especially after those 11 and a half miles I did on Saturday. So I think I still need to take a little bit of a rest before I go at it again this coming week. There's a good chance I am, but I think also Mother's Day's coming up, so I might not. I'll probably end up visiting home for that, but anyways. So, what we did last episode, we figured out a little bit more about how the antimatter stuff is going to work. So I did do a little bit of modifications to the setup. I think the most important thing I did was that I moved the stock replenisher down here. I also did activate it for a little bit. So I'm up to 3 million antimatter. And this is good to have because this means that I should be able to follow that sorry for the flashbang, but this a power planner thing, because I think for a very simple setup, I want to be able to push 13,000 at a time. So I think that's a good start to have 3 million of this built up, and the setup does work. It's a consistent value. Right now I have 5,000, and if I want to update it, I just have to change this number over here. So this one, move it up to 13, I think, for 13,000. But other modifications I did set up a little signal here and attached it to a activity detector, so that if it detects anything that it doesn't have enough of, so each of these fluid emitters is checking if it has one of the 5 important fluids that we need. And if anything is below 10,000, it'll shut off the machine. So that's what I have here. So right now, this is telling me that the depleted fuel is less than 10,000. So this one enables, which shuts off the system. This way I don't accidentally cause problems by running out of antimatter or whatever. So that's just kind of an emergency shut off switch sort of thing. So I think what I want to do right now is basically try to follow this one, maybe even set up the slam. But for sure, oops, I sorry, I have a tick. I have to always right click stuff, so if you ever notice me right clicking things, that's what it is. But basically I think the plan here is to follow this thing. So I'm going to tell this to use copper for now, and then activation, because this is the trickiest one to get, which is depleted Mark 5 fuel. So all of these values, I'm not really going to pay attention, because the best way to deal for it, I think, is just to improve whatever crafts. Just keep improving all the crafts related to it, and then it'll be fine. But this actually doesn't consume very quickly. But I guess I'll show you whenever this thing starts running. So this number, I think this is what we want, 13,000 optimal per hatch. So for me to do that, I think I just have to tell this 13 buckets and then reset it. I like this button because it force resets all the amount. It's basically just acting as a activity detector down there. So for this thing to run, I do need a couple of things. I think really the only thing we're low on right now is the based fuel. Based. and while this is running, and I guess actually, yeah, let's get this working first, and then I'll talk about what I was thinking of. So this thing is very expensive. It's actually very expensive just to make 1 million. So a lot of work needs to be done to improve everything involved in this craft, and I have a lot of things in mind. But you'll notice here that, yeah, it gets pretty pricey. So I'm going to try to craft it. Oh, and you're going to complain about it. And that's one of them. The passiving stuff, I may want to start passiving things so that it doesn't complain anymore. But I'll just have 1 million of it crafted. And then talk about what I wanted to talk about. Tongue twisted. Anyway, so other things that I finished overnight was I did get the other casings. So now we're up to tier 5, which reminds me that there's another what do you call it? Oh, wrong scene. Other upgrade. Try to figure out what the next upgrade is going to be. So right now we are at 531 right here. We're about to set this one up. So the next one is going to be 551. This one. Meaning we need the time dilation field generators to Mark 5. That's the next step. So we'll go ahead and set that up. I've also realized something, that the number of, I guess you can say, planetary bodies depends on what kind of like tier you have of this one. I'm not sure if it's a tier of this or whatever tier this one is. I'm not actually sure. It's just something I've noticed. Anyways, how's everyone else's day going? Pretty slow here. I did go to the grocery store. Not too much to share about it. It was just me shopping for things. I'm trying to get back into air fried sandwiches because I was very big on that for a while. Trying to get back into it. Saves a lot of money also. Okay. So we have this guy. And the next step is the time dilation Mark 5. So this is the next one we want to get. So I'm going to have to craft this one next, but just one of them. And then I have this one to research. So I'll go ahead and just research it over here. And right there. Yeah, enjoy. Okay. And then you, I think I just put you in over here, right? Fan's not lining it, yeah. And I'll just leave this bookmark so I can come back to it. Anyway, so there's like really the biggest thing I have to worry about right now is just improving the speed of some of these crafts. And I also am trying to craft a UAV capacitor. And this is telling me that this is kind of a little slow. And so do I have any UAV capacitor? UMB? No, UMB. Energy hatches, like the wireless ones. No. Honestly, not even that bad. I don't know why I need so many nanoprocessors, but those are being produced by like one circuit assembler, I think. Way up here. If I can find it, then I know which one to upgrade. Yeah, this one. So let me see if I can just craft one of you, just to speed this up by a little bit. That's not bad, actually. No idea why I'm crafting more than two, but okay. Or crafting two at a time. Might need to increase that, though. Put that, just to speed it up by just a little bit. By a big number, actually. It went up from like 4,000 to 14,000, right? Not bad. I think that's the only one I have. So this top row of circuit ass lines are just doing random circuits. Everything below it is dedicated for a certain kind of circuit. But up here, it's like a bunch of random ones. Okay, so that'll speed things up by quite a bit. Other things I wanted to work on. So I look at the craft. What's like taking so long for this thing? This also reminds me of something else I did off camera, actually. The fuel refineries. I did craft the next tier of coils, purple ones. So those are in right now. And they do work a lot better. Pretty good stuff. I guess we may not need to increase it as much as I would think. I also kind of want to see this recipe process instantly. That's the one that goes over here in this activator that we did last time. And it looks like it just waits for the whole craft until it pushes everything. Yeah, it just crafts instantly. And so that's not the problem. But anyway, so now that there's enough fluid, over 10,000 for all of them. And I guess we'll also craft a good amount of Shirobon just to have it. Maybe 1 million. The DTPFs are doing something right now, so I don't think it's going to let it. But anyways. So that enables this thing to run. And this is the kind of number I have to watch out for, that 1.62. That's trillions at this point. We are able to keep up with that. Because remember, we're doing... are we doing 10 trillion? I don't remember how much power we're doing. You gotta check over here. So 1.35. So 1.35 times... How many of these capacitors? Times 8, right? Yeah, times 8. Yeah, 10.8 trillion. We're doing 10.8 trillion, so we can actually support that right now. So as long as I have the input fuel like running, then we can leave this thing running nonstop. And I'm cool with that. So it's running at 13,000. If I check the spreadsheet again, I'm not gonna change screen. I just wanted to take a quick peek. Yeah, this thing is going to be consuming a negative 2.06 trillion. And that looks about right, I guess. I think that looks right. I can't really tell. And if I check here, each one of these has 13,000, and we're steadily increasing the amount of antimatter we have here. Okay, so next step, I think I do want to take a look at the slam. So this is something I'm gonna have to like figure out how it works, because I'm not really sure. I did say I was gonna research it, but I didn't. But it looks like this one doesn't really need too much stuff. All right, so we're gonna figure out where things belong first. Also, let me check molten copper. We are fluid drilling this, I think, from the space pump. Yeah. So there's still a little bit of automation we have to do. Cycle lasts 1 second. So I think we still want to use Steve's focus factory manager. I guess SFM to do this. Because it's the only thing that I know that works really well consistently below 1 second. So what kind of hatch positions do you need? There's an input hatch. Input hatch. And then you have all the laser stuff out here, I think. Yeah. Okay, there goes my internet. Let me take a drink of soda. Today's drink of choice is Dr. Pepper Cherry Zero Sugar. Picked it up at the grocery store today. It's pretty good. Yeah, it's just going to be a recurring thing. I don't really feel the need to figure out what's going on with the internet. Anyways, so if I want to push out everything, I need to use source hatches, I think. But let me read this here because I think it's like very picky about how many hatches you need. Every cycle, the generator will react all antimatter and matter and hatches instantly, converting it all into energy directly. Hatch output is based on the equal amounts of antimatter and matter annihilated. Mm-hmm. The maximum EU for a cycle is limited by the capacity of all laser source hatches on the structure, limited to 64, even on wireless mode. So I'm not too sure, like, what kind of like laser source hatches I need to give this thing. So right now I do have UAV thick ones, 128 for some reason of these guys. So I don't know if I can use this. And does every single one of them need to be laser hatch? I'm not sure actually. Yeah, so energy hatches. I'm gonna stick to UAV. Wired. I'm gonna try to do this one. Because right now we have 1048, I think. 1048, 576. Yeah. Do we really need 64? I didn't really account for that, so I might have to do some shenanigans. I know Extreme last episode told me about that, about making a bunch of capacitors, but I didn't see the reason to, and now I do. But it looks like 64 is what I would want. So because I already have them, I'm just going to go ahead and set them up. So 64 of them. So where would they go? So it looks like I can do 8 in each little ring here. There's 4 sides. Each one has 2. Cause yeah, it's 8 times 8 times 8. I can probably do some like active transformer shenanigans just to be able to push all the energy out of here. That's what I'm thinking. Oh, don't tell me I didn't complete the multi-block. Hang Hang on. Hang on. Also you, that you're dirt too, right? Okay, that's gonna bother me. It's in my mind now that that's not a Aegon. There you go. I know you can say out of sight, out of mind, but no. It is in my mind. I guess I didn't finish the multi-block here. Oops. What do you mean? Yeah, your source hatch. Yeah. Hint 2. Mm-hmm. You're literally a laser source hatch. I don't know why you were complaining about it. Did I run out of these flux casings? No. So you're complaining about this, and I don't know why. You're gonna complain about all of you. Also, let me replace the ground with. Actually, I gotta wait for this thing to build first. I guess you're just gonna complain about it until I build the thing. Gravity stabilization casing. So did you not craft enough? I could have sworn that I followed this craft recipe here. Let's make 100 more just in case. That's not too expensive. I think we're fine. Okay. So how fast am I going to consume this stuff? Like, it doesn't consume very fast. So I'm pretty sure we can just level maintain this stuff and then be okay with it. But yeah, I think that's what it's going to be. But I think for now, until I really figure this out, I think I'm just going to passive it. Not passive it, but manually check on it. But I do have that emergency shut off switch, so I think we're fine. So I think, how expensive is this thing? This thing is almost done. Hey, Mr. Nibbles, what's up? We're trying to set up the slam over here, and then we have the antimatter thing, the SAS running in the background. Yeah, you're gonna take a while. The DTPF has been running like a ton of infinity over time, I think, or overnight. Yeah. Yeah. That doesn't look very fun. Hey, Boolean. What's up? I mean, it's not that bad. Oh, it looks like we're running out of catalyst again, right? Yeah. Yup. No, we're fine. As long as it's crafting. We'll come back to that. So, how am I going to get all the power over here? It's a very good question. And what is this casing over here? A quadria frame box. And you got plenty of you there. So just to avoid having to make that many more capacitors, and maybe set up a bunch of active transformers, I think, right? If I can even put that many things on. No, I don't really know if I want to do that because the amount of source hatches I need, it essentially doubles. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Oh, no, not really. I just need to make corresponding target hatches. Let me craft this one, and maybe I'll just make like more than one. And do I even need for this to be like that expensive? No, because you're not pulling power, so you don't even need to be UIV. I would like to have 4 of them, you know, one for each corner. I think minimum I'm gonna need is a UHV capacitor. Yeah, I think that's gonna be way cheaper. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Does their limit change, their capacity? That number looks the same, so I don't think so. So I think we're fine with just 4 of these. Where are you stuck? Why are you crafting? Ew, why are you there? And something is trying to craft there. It's you, right? That's like a outdated setup. Hang on. Yeah. These two, get out of there. Don't do that. You're cringe. These are all super old crafting recipes. You need to be renamed. There you go. You. Not really. You. Okay. Four of them. And then I need the gravity stabilization casing. They're not crafting. I think there's a bunch of other things in there right now. 16 million or 500 Bioware frames. Yeah, okay. It's you. Of course it's you. How's this doing? It's not that fast. I think we're fine if I just check on it every now and then until what do you call it? Until I get more power in, and then I can start like really pushing things to craft faster. That's what I'm thinking, at least. Okay, that finished up. Let me see if that was enough casings. What are you missing? More casings. And there they are. That's weird though. I could have sworn I had enough casings for all of this. And there we go. Okay. So I imagine that this thing wants the source hatches. And also let me get the dirt out of there. I don't like it if it's dirt. Hang on. Let's get the border in first. Accidentally didn't finish the multi-block. Oops. And then the little dirt patch on the inside. I don't want that. Oh, that's a lot of dirt. There we go. I think it's like that. That looks right because it actually built. So I'm gonna need an equal amount of source or target hatches actually for the capacitor. So I should probably get those crafting. These guys, yeah, I need 64. I think I realized my mistake. I meant to craft 64 of target hatches, but I crafted another 64 of the source hatches. And I can't break those down. Oh well. I'll find a way to get used to make use of them, don't worry. Okay. We'll do that. And then is it built? It's built, yeah. I'll set up the automation. There's gonna need to be some automation shenanigans. I'll do that right now. Next step is to get the capacitors in here. So I'll go ahead and put it right there in this corner. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. So each one is going to have a UHV capacitor, just one. It doesn't have to really be anything special because we're only going to dump power into the thing. And if you're dumping power, you don't need this to be a fancy capacitor tier. As much as I'm aware. And I'm totally just saying that so I don't get in trouble. Or like someone doesn't quote me on it, right? I said as much as I'm aware, I'm not 100% sure about it. Therefore, I'm not at fault. Right there. Okay. Now, each one needs to have a bunch of sources. That is crap. Oh, it's going to take a while. Can I give this thing more power? Pretty sure I could. Right now, you're getting 32 billion. I can give it more power, but... How long is that going to take? That might take a little bit, actually. Either way, there's things we can do while waiting for this to finish crafting. Yeah, it's going to take a while, actually. Okay, so what kind of lasers do I have? I have these, but no, I'm not going to use that. It's a little too much. So right now I have a 1496, I think. How much? Yeah, UEV 4096, which is 34 billion. I'm trying to see what I do have, so I can just give it more power. Laser source. What about laser target? No, I don't have anything right now. UEV laser. There's source. Okay, I have 262K, and I can like throttle. What's the word? Throttle. So it doesn't accept the full amperage, because that's kind of funny. It's a little too much. Oh no, I have to deal with this thing again. I don't know if you guys remember about this thing. Kind of a curse setup. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna upgrade this. It's a little slow. Might as well increase it. Pause it for a little bit. Oh, the other thing I can do is I actually start disconnecting a lot of these, because yeah, like the 16. I think I want to use this one. 1634s, because a lot of these are decommissioned now. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. High power casing, right? So this one, I want to grab you. You're not connected to anything, right? Nope. Right there. I need another one. That one is also disconnected. Yeah. We can harvest the goodies. Make use of them. There we go. And this should be fine because it's still UEV powered. UEV laser source hatch. Like that. And then I need the UEV target, the corresponding ones. These guys. Not 262Ks, the 65Ks. 16Ks, yeah, you. Yeah. So that should increase the power by 4 times? That looks like 4 times. I'm going to assume it's 4 times. Right there. And then you are magenta. You're purple. And then double check. Yeah. All right, turn that back on. I don't know how much of an improvement it made, but it's consuming more power, so I'm going to assume it's an improvement. It's got to work through so much stuff. Nequadria. Where's Nequadria even being made? Macerator? The heck? Why? Oh, it's because we make the fluid and the neutron activator. Yeah, we make the fluid there. And then turn that into an ingot, and then we macerate it. And I think the only macerate we have is this guy. So yeah, this kind of convinces me I'm gonna want to have a mass-produced macerator setup. Mostly for things like the dust, because this dust takes forever. So I kind of want to do it now. UIV wireless. How many do I have? 33. Let's set up a maintenance or a macerator spam then. I might as well make it a UMV. So we're gonna copy, clear manual plans, reset, mark copy. Do like that right there. Plan. Craft it. And set up a spot for macerator spam, which is probably going to be right here. I think I can fit it. Because it's a 3x3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I can fit it here, but it's going to have like one block of space missing. That's fine. Nanoforge is going to get moved at some point anyways for the upgrade. I'll put it over here. Oh, don't think I forgot about you. So it looks like infinity is still a problem. Once I get automation for the antimatter stuff going and I get a ton more power, I'm going to passive infinity because it's about time. Because it's one of the slower bottlenecks. And actually, because we still have to produce 144,000 of this stuff, I'm going to cancel it. Try to get the rest of this stuff finished up. And I take a drink. Okay. So what's going on here? I think you're having problems because you don't have enough catalysts. So the catalyst is still trying to craft, right? Mm-hmm. Which means if this is taking a while, I may want to start looking into more compact fusions. Because apparently 5 of them is not enough. So rude. Anyways, so I just completely forgot about it, but we did upgrade this thing to the Eye of Harmony to 5.3.1. So because we're at 5, I can actually upgrade to the hang on, let me check the wiki. Titan is what we're looking for. That's the next planetary thing. So I need to craft that one and put the controller in there. Put it in the controller is what I was trying to say. Have I even been to Titan? I guess not. I guess I haven't been to Titan. Okay. Here we go. I can probably use a tier 8 rocket, right? It's been a while since we launched from a rocket. I think my launch pad's over here, right? Yeah. Not the shuttle, though. I want this one. I think that's the right view. I don't even remember anymore. I'm just gonna assume it is. That's enough fuel. I trust. Does anyone remember where Titan is? Haven't blasted off in a while. We're not at this part of the base too often, but it had a lot of good potential. I just, at some point, I was like, I don't want to decorate as much, so I just went, yard sale. Why is it yellow? Yeah, I have no idea why it's yellow. Jupiter? Okay. I trust. Yeah, I don't know why it's yellow. Because our skybox is blue. Oh, don't do that. It hurts my eyes. It's probably a night vision thing. Jupiter? Saturn. Okay, that's fine. I would not have known either way. I don't know my moons. Sorry. The heck? Well, we have a satellite on Saturn. That's right. I forgot about that. Enchilada. I remember that one. Titan. Here we go. It's pink. Okay. I better not explode as soon as I spawn in the world. I think we're fine. It's really thinking about it. I don't remember if it's like a shuttle. I have no idea. I don't know if I lost my rocket, but it's not like I need it, so. I think I lost my rocket. Wait, I kind of wanted it though. Nothing a relock won't fix though, right? The server name is technically the world name is just round 5. But I know what you're talking about. Don't forget to record, and I did not forget to record. What is this? It's bubbling. Okay, it doesn't like that. Yeah, I think I just straight up lost my rocket. I don't know where he is. I don't know if there's a way I can look for it. Oh well, we're not broke. If I need another rocket, it's probably super cheap at this point, so I don't care. Anyways, I need to make all of this stuff: surface, subsurface, and Titan stone. Yeah, just start ripping up this entire mountain. There's no reason for us to be up here, right? Other than this stuff, I guess. And also, don't forget, right here on the beach. Right there. Is there anything else to look at out here? We got a cool looking cave. That's not a cave, never mind. Ores. Antimony. If I ever needed antimony, I know where to get it. What about you? Zinc. Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't. That rocket's gone. It's just straight up gone. So I'm just gonna go back home. I don't really care about it. If I need another one for some reason, I can just craft another one. We're at that point. Everything's cheap. Oh no. It's a good thing I set up the warp, right? Come on. There goes my internet now. I'm going to be extra picky about my internet connection whenever I do move out, because I don't like it when it does this. But it's like right now, I'm so close to moving out. I have about a week and a half or so. I don't want to fix it. It's not worth the effort. Unless it's like permanently crippled, right? No, it's a recurring thing. I don't know what's going on, but whenever I hit stream, my internet just craps out every now and then. It's been happening more and more often lately. I don't quite know what is happening, and I'm not really gonna fix it. I'm not worried about it too much, because I did land a new job recently, and I'm gonna have to be moving out within the next week. So I'm like, I don't really care about fixing the problem, because I'm gonna be moving out anyways. Who cares? That's where I'm at right now. But it's been happening a lot more often lately. It's weird. At least once a stream, actually, for the past couple weeks, it's just been cutting off, and it's only when I stream. And it's weird though, because it never happened before. Until recently. So what I really think is happening is that my apartment internet is like throwing a fit that I'm about to leave, and I'm not going to pay for it anymore. It's probably what it is. And by the way, I have we got to check on our Shirobon large plate recipe. We are 1,371,000 seconds, 371,516 seconds in. It's almost done. We actually have 2 extruders doing the same recipe. I don't know if I even showed the basic one. I know I set up the advanced extruder on camera, but I don't know if I showed you guys this one. So this recipe, I think it is the Shirobon large plate. I think it's this one, 12 million. No, this is another recipe. Which recipe is this? The one that has 107,000 seconds. Oh, and I remember. It's the certificate of not being a noob anymore. Yeah. So I'm actually crafting the certificate in this extruder right here, and this one's crafting the Shirobon large plate. So this one is 11% done. It's actually almost there. This one is not. It's 1% done. It's almost there. And I can finally have our first certificate of not being a noob anymore. So it's kind of like a race if I finish the pack before this recipe finishes. I'm pretty confident. Is that what it is? I'm confident it will finish. I know that's not what you're supposed to do normally, but it's just a meme. It's funny. Anyways, I have Harmony. I need to upgrade this to 6 billion. 6 billion is what I'm looking for. So, just gotta tell this off. See if I can actually craft it with enough storage space. Yes, I can. Cancel. Change this to 6. And do that. And there it is. Okay. So I think that's all the setup I need to do for that. I have Harmony to just leave it on tier 5, and then I could just walk away. At tier 6, it becomes power positive or no? Or tier 7? Tier 6, it's power positive. So pretty much right there, actually, for power positive. That's pretty cool. Check on my recipes. This guy is ready to go, so I'm going to set up a couple more macerators over here. Copy. Mark copy. I need to start setting spam for macerators. Mostly for the transcendent metal because it is a little slow. Yeah, I'm not worried about that. Okay, and then just go ahead and copy it again. Well, and let me change it first. So this one's gonna have the stack. All the input output will be on top. I'd prefer it to be like that instead. All right, so I'm gonna put the crafting buses right here. And then the output bus will be right over here, like that. And then mark copy from here to here. Plan, clear plans, plan it again. Right there. And then slowly but surely start moving all the recipes over here, which I think I'm just going to do right now, actually. I should be fine. As long as I have some proxies, we'll be fine. Yeah, I got plenty. Okay. Pause you. Check if there's any patterns in storage. Nope. Pick up to ME and rip it up. Alright, you're gonna get moved over there and start preparing for machine spam. Paste, put you right there. Cannot find industrial maceration stack. That is completely fine. Patterns, I'm gonna rename this to I'm macerating it. Use your words, use your sounds. And then corresponding proxies on this side. Right there. Industrial maceration stack. Yes. Tier 2. It's right there. Okay. Output bus. Put that over here. Right there. Okay. Changing. Draw the black border. I'm only going to set up 2 for now, but the idea is to have this spammed so that it follows the trend of all the other machines where it uses 32 channels as its baseline. So 16 autoclaves, 2 outputs each, that's 32 channels. That's the whole idea. So I'll just connect it to AE2. Tell this connect to any side. Colored black for output or for input. Another wireless connector. This one is for output. Queuing mode. Copy you there. Let's also do the white one next. So input first. You only need 2 channels for now. 2 channels right there. And another hub for the output. We're finally starting to move up the next layer. Right there. Data stick. You connect here. You connect there. And I think that's pretty much it. Get all the patterns back over here. Then, just like that, we have effectively doubled our macerator processing. And if I need to make more, I'll just do that. But I think I'll do that off camera. Okay, what was I doing in the whole, like the first place? I don't remember. I was crafting something expensive, right? What was I doing? Oh, the lasers. UIV laser targets. I need these with 64 of them. How atrocious is this craft? It's honestly not too bad. It did work through the transcendent middle already. This will finish relatively quickly. I think. I don't even know. How are you doing? It's a lot of power the thing is using. How are you doing? Nothing is on, so that tells me that it's still chugging along. Bars. Sorry. UIV laser target, right? Yeah, it's making a whole bunch. Where are you even crafting? Oh, it's the assemblers right there. They're taking up time over here. Yeah. You might need a little more power than if you're taking that long. I mean, it's 6.9 times 8. Not too bad. Yeah, it'll finish. Okay. So I think while that's crafting, I can work on the automation a little bit. We have some time, yeah. So first of all, I need to be able to extract the items from here. And I don't want to extract all of it. I want to have a buffer. I think I want to keep a buffer of 1 million, just as a solid number. So I think there's like an overflow. Maybe not overflow, but something I can do to push out only a certain amount of fluid. I don't know. But let me get another quantum tank just to hold it there. Quantum tank 4. Yeah. Or I guess I may not even need the buffer. I could just read from this directly. And then shut off the machine if there's less than 1,000,000 in there. Yeah, we'll do that. So in that case, I need to be able to read from this little system here. Storage, fluid storage bus. Like that. So all the automation is going to happen somewhere. I don't even know. On the side right there. Right here? That doesn't seem like a lot of space. Okay. Can it use quadruple hatches? Let me check the document again. So how much do I want to give this thing? 210? I don't know what it means by burn. I don't understand what burn is. I may have to research that because I keep seeing that value mentioned, burn. I'm not sure what that means. Hey, killer, no worries. Honestly, same. I'm pretty sleepy, but I totally get it. Okay, so that's the number we want to look at. Thanks, by the way. 210 liters per second. So I want to have an equal amount of input. So that number 210. So I think I can use a quadruple hatch to do the shenanigans. I don't actually know. I'm going to try it. I'll use this one because I already have one. So if I give that there, do you accept it? I think it's fine. It's not complaining about it. I'm not going to touch that. Never mind. I think we still want to use SFM though to move this stuff. Oh no, I totally get it. I wouldn't worry about it though. Yeah, let's try doing SFM again. Inventory manager, right? And a bunch of inventory cables. Now, how the heck am I going to interface? That's a very good question. Because I'm relying on cycles here. I think I want to do a simple, like a similar thing. Redstone receiver. Very similar setup, right? Put that right there. Are you able to even detect it from there though? Let me put a lamp right here. Right there. And set this to machine recipe progress. That's wireless. I don't want it wireless. Okay, so if I turn that on, it's probably because it's not trying to do an active recipe. Unless... Get a piece of wire right here. I think it's just waiting for stuff here. So I'm gonna trust that it does work like that, and I'm just gonna leave the receiver right there, and then I can put the inventory manager right here. And then I just need to put the cable all the way up there. I'm gonna move the cable, put it all the way over here. I don't think there's any other way I can move this stuff here. And I'm trying not to look at the wiki for solutions, by the way, because I like to learn my own thing. Plus, I am really trying to get used to Steve's factory manager, especially for Meatball Craft, because I hear it's a very, very helpful mod there. It's also like a lot more updated in that pack too, so it has more features. And I'm gonna try and learn it here. Okay. So just like before, we're gonna have a trigger, and it turns on redstone controlled. On analog redstone, we say 15, because I only want this to run whenever the thing is actually like super powered, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word. Redstone receivers, that one. And then whenever the recipe restarts on low pulse, that's what we want to do. And then a button just to be able to test it out. So antimatter isn't really used for anything else. Yeah, it's not really used for anything else. So I'm going to connect that over to here. Let me get some molten copper. Let me get a stock replenisher over here, actually. Let me get a wireless connector going. And a neutronium controller. Put a controller right there. We'll do light blue for the SLAM subnet. It's going to be a different color. Slightly different color. Put that right there. And then connect that to somewhere over here. Now, I guess all the interfacing will be like right over here. So I'll put the controller right here. And then have a machine controller. This is the one that's going to tell the thing to turn off if there's not enough antimatter built up in the system. Just in case. It's just an emergency thing. I'm going to disable machine for now. And then I need a level emitter. Fluid. Put it right there. So this one is going to be antimatter. If there's less than 1 million. Just like that. Which is totally not true because I just haven't moved it yet. And then I need another cable up here. I need a dual interface. A stock replenisher, another one. Hang on. Two dual interfaces. That might take a while because the that stuff is working on stuff. Wireless connector. It's a little tricky to set up, just bear with me. I'm really trying to think here. So that should be like that, and then okay, confirm that does work, right? Yeah, that does work. Okay. We'll leave it like that. So I'm just gonna connect this over there. Queuing mode. Connect it up there. It would move too fast. Right there. Yeah, okay. So you should be able to look at the antimatter now. And I can put a fluid terminal here just to be able to look at stuff. Put it right there. Okay, so now we have the antimatter just chilling right there. Dual interfaces are still not done. Stock replenisher, I need to be able to talk to mainnet. So that'll be somewhere. We'll go up here, point up, stock replenisher, wireless connector. Put it right there. This connects to main network, color black. Coiling mode, go to some random connector that has a connection. I think this one's fine. And then a big storage cell. There we go. And because I'm using molten copper as my matter, at least for now, there you go. We'll store 10 million in here just so that it doesn't bug out. Okay. So if I check here, now I have access to both copper and antimatter. So that's going to be the two fuels that I use. And then for me to actually access the fluids, I need to have the interfaces, which are taking a while because the this recipe's taking a little bit. So I'm gonna get some. I'm gonna refill my Dr. Pepper while this crafts. Should be a couple minutes more. Refill my drink and then I'll set this up again. I'll be right back.
This is the button for crouching.
Difficulty. You want hardest or just
No, we're
medium?
gonna die.
Wait, Leo, look at that Owen.
Hold on. I'm trying to do things.
You gotta look at that Owen. He's doing something.
What did you do?
They're already spawning, man. They're already spawning, dude.
No.
I'm not even full HP. I'm not full HP.
No.
Oh, these dudes are tanky. They got diamond armor. Get out of here.
Yo, who decided this was a good idea? Cause it was for sure not me.
No.
Yo, alright, I'm in lockdown. Yes, bro. Go in there, bro. No.
Hit him.
Yeah. No. Get in there, bro.
Yeah, he got it. He got it or something.
Yes, bro.
Oh shit. That shit's using the restroom, bro.
Okay, I'm back. Hello. Told you, that's all I needed. Just a small break. 2 interfaces. And where are they gonna go? It's a very good question. Make them 2 small blocks or 2 blocks. What do you think? Small blocks it is. For sure, I want this to be on the subnet. And I prefer it to like not interfere with that. So I think what I should be able to just do this. No, not there. Right there and right there. So this one, I want you to store the molten copper. Now here's the other thing. I don't know if I'm able to store here, but because I'm trying to push 2 fluids into like that space, I'm going to hold off on that. I'm going to try doing 2 different like storages, in other words. That's the wrong copper. I need this one. And then this one is going to be antimatter. That looks so funny. Okay, so I think I can try this, maybe? This looks sus, but we're gonna try it. So this is what I'm trying to do. So when it gets the trigger, I want to basically just push an exact amount of fluid into that input hatch over there. So I think that's as simple as making a liquid input. Tanks, I want you to connect to... Oh, it's not gonna work. Probably because it's not a full block. It doesn't know how to think about it. So I'm gonna make it a full block. Maybe try that. AE2 cable and or bus. So I don't know what that one's trying to connect to. Actually not sure. Yeah, I have no idea who you're trying to connect to, so I'm not gonna worry about it. If I break, I don't even know. I won't worry about it anyway, so input both of you. And then define multi, run command once per target. We'll do that because that seems to affect it last time. And then I want to push it into... Frog in my throat, sorry. Push it into the quad hatch. Like that. And then I want this to be whitelist. Antimatter. I'm going to tell this 1 bucket at a time just to see if it works. And molten copper. And I guess you can say this is like a test if it works with like a certain amount of fluids. Okay, so what if I just push the button? Server crash, it'll be so funny. Yeah, I don't think that did anything. Let me see my commands, maybe. Okay, so redstone receiver, all, yes. Analog redstone, this should work. Redstone controlled, if any, okay. On low pulse, so whenever this thing turns off, that thing should pull from these guys, and I think I'm gonna do run a shared command once. And then output. Oh, that might be what it is. What side are you looking at? Facing north. Can be a little picky sometimes. All right. Push. No, okay. Do you think it's a dual interface? Oh, I didn't even put the fluid back. Oh yeah, I didn't put the fluids in here. Oops. Molten copper. Right there. And then antimatter. Like that. Okay. How about now? Yes, okay. So that works. Sweet. So that's pretty much what the automation is going to do. It's a similar idea to the SAS, where every recipe cycle, what was I trying to say? Every recipe cycle, it's gonna like restart and put a certain amount of fluid in there that I have to configure. And I think that value is going to be, I check this one over here, it's 210. I'm going to be putting 210 in there. So if I go back to here, I just have to tell both of them 210 millibuckets, like that. Like that. I think that's all we have to do. Obviously, there's still a little more control to this. I still don't even know if this is going to be able to reach that signal. If it doesn't, I should be able to do a quick little loop like that. I know for sure this reaches it, but I don't know if it reaches the redstone receiver right there. But before I actually try it, I think I want to make sure that this is plugged in. And yeah, they did finish. So everything's starting to come together. Next step is to connect the targets. How the heck am I going to do that? That's a very good question. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What if I just do that? And here's the thing, I don't know if I have enough like inputs, the casings for this to be considered built. Oh, we're fine. Okay. So I think that's all I want to do. Somehow connect all of these over here. Connect all of these guys over here, and then just copy paste. So I'm going to mark copy. Oops, mark copy. there. Just put it on the corner. Like that. Plan. Put these guys back so it doesn't start crafting a ton of this stuff, and then I'll just put this back. Well, that's not going to work. Three more. Okay. So paste. Put this guy right over here. But rotate it. Rotate Y. Did I get it? I think I got it right the first time. That never happens. I never know how to transform this stuff. Yeah. Paste, put that in the corner. Transform, rotate, like that. Paste. Right there, rotate, Y. Okay. There we go, and then connect everything here. I'm gonna need a bunch of mirrors and vacuums. So it's gonna look like that. And then you guys go all the way like this. Like that. It's gonna look a little cursed, but I need it to be, I know it has to be cursed. You need to be a bend. And then bend, and then bend. And like that. So there's three of you, right? Yeah. This thing is gonna be colored to all heck though. I'm not even going to like pretend to have like a actual color tone to this. Or like an organized color tone, I guess. It's just gonna be whatever colors I feel like. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, just like that. Okay. So that's that. That actually looks pretty funny. And then we color everything. I'm just gonna go left to right, honestly. Starting up here. Yeah. Like that, and then we go down the list. As long as they're all different colors, we should be okay. They're not going to like, oops. No, we want poopy brown. As long as the colors are different, they're not going to mix with each other. Very high chance that I mess something up though, because it's kind of a lot of cables you have to deal with. Like, especially right here. Like, how am I going to get these guys? Right there. It wasn't that bad. Usually whenever I connect colored cables, or lasers, I color code them based on what tier they're in. So blue is UIV, but I'm not going to try to do that over here. Don't mess up right there. Okay, make sure everything is connected. Those are connected. Also those. Everything in the inside, hope and pray. And then I'm assuming that's the same distance. I'm going to assume it's the same distance. We're going to copy paste basically the top and the bottom ones. I'll copy paste everything actually. Mark copy. Then mark paste. Reset transform. So mark paste. I did U. Rotate plus Y. Like that, right? And then add the rest of you. I need a bunch more of you though. So this side should be a little easier because I just have to move a couple of these guys. Yeah. Right there and right there. Just like that. I think that's it. This thing looks pretty cool actually. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Okay. I think we're okay now. Next step is to actually copy paste the rest of them. So we're going to do the ones that are connected to the bottom first, right? A little nervous though, because I don't want any of this to be like disconnected. Because each disconnection means a ton of power we're losing, and I can't really afford that. How about here? Everything here looks connected just fine. Everything here looks okay as well. Okay, I'm going to assume that's good. Mark paste. Put it on right here. Edit transform. Like that. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to connect these manually because I'm going to have to I'm going to be copying this stuff by accident and I don't want to. So I think most of it's going to be manually. That's not too bad though. Just need to have a bunch of you on hand. So for example, you, and you. Just like that. Everything else I think is fine. You, and you. Bend, no bend right there. Right? Yeah. Yeah, okay. Then transform plus mark paste right there. No, oops. Hang on. That one should be the same direction because it's facing the same way, yeah. Yeah, okay. Just like that. And then you just need to have 1, 1. Then 1, 1, 1, 1, and then casing. Double check if this one also connected to the hatch. Yeah. Okay, that's the next one. Complete. Paste it right here. Transform, rotate. We're only rotating the Y. And then rinse and repeat. So 1, 2, 3. Paint 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Nope. 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Paste right here. Rotate plus Y. One, two. No, it's just 2 here. Like that. One, 2. 1, 2, and then paint. Yeah, okay. Just 2 more. Paste, rotate. One, 2, 3. One, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4. Transform, rotate. It sounds like I don't really have to do this too much after I set this up. Because it looks like this one slam, once you like upgrade it to the max by giving it different fluids, this thing can basically support so much power that you actually need more sasses instead of slams. At least that's what I've heard. So I won't really have to do the connection more than once. So also, if I use UMV superconductor, it's going to be wireless anyways, but I still have to account for the output, so we'll get to that whenever it happens, right? Yeah, sure. Okay. Everything looks like it's connected. Next step, turn it on. Wireless mode. You do not need to be on rebalance, but it's going to rebalance itself over time anyways. Right there. Okay. Make sure these are the actual hatches though, because it would suck if I had them the wrong way. Target hatch. Source hatch. Yeah, okay, I think we're fine. UIV. UAV, yeah. Okay, so we have everything connected. May I take a drink before I turn this thing on and explode my entire base? It's not going to explode. I don't think it is, at least. The only thing I can see happening is like it runs out of power. That's it. Not power, but like antimatter. I think we're fine. I don't think we need a backup. I'm very much a do as I say, not as I do. I recommend a backup, but I'm not going to do it. I'm pretty confident. This thing doesn't explode. That's why I'm okay with it. And it's just a simple matter of checking, hey, laser source doesn't match the target, and yes, it does, and we're fine. That's all we're gonna do really. The output should be 210. Also keep in mind this thing should be running nonstop. So and the signal here, it should be, if this ever runs out of like antimatter, if it drops below 1,000,000, it's gonna shut off. And then we have to like babysit it. Maybe I can even put like a howler alarm. Sure. What's the most annoying sound I could put? Hang on, let me put a emergency lever over here. Oh, that's annoying one. Default. All right. Okay, so if we ever run low on antimatter, that basically means, hey, your base is gonna have power problems. So that's my sound howler alarm, sure. I'm gonna put another one too. We might as well. This one, if this ever turns on, that means we ran out of one of these fluids. Which, you know what, now that I think about it, if we run out of these fluids, that one is going to enable because we're going to run out of antimatter. So we only need one, don't worry about it. I am going to be checking on that one anyways. And this one, I don't need to check on it. It's going to tell me. Do I just run it? What happens if I, yeah, I'm going to try running it. All right. You want to disable with redstone. And then maybe, I think it needs a button to jumpstart itself. It puts enough fluid up there. There we go. So if I scan it, stored energy 0, that means all the power is leaving. U produce is 2.10 times 10 to the 14. That's 12 is trillion. 200 trillion? That's not right. That seems too much. Efficiency is at 100 though, so it is working. Is it actually consuming? Let me check here actually. Is there any way I can actually see if this thing is generating power? Energy. It says idle, so I don't know. So it's not running. Okay, so I think it's not actively sending the signal. It's not able to reach the signal. So if I hit it again, do I need to give it something else? Is it even running? I can't tell. It says it consumes all inputs every processing cycle. It only uses copper and antimatter. It says it's processing recipe, but it says idle, so I don't really get it. You produced 210. I can't really tell. Stored, it rebalanced itself. It's not getting any power though, so I don't get it. No, it's getting power. You don't know what's going on. Yeah, you're totally getting power. Disabled. It says disabled. Why? Target hatch. I think that's just how it works. Let me double check over here what that disabled means, because this one says it's disabled, but if I check this, yeah, that means something else. I don't know what that means though. Yeah, it's a little tricky to tell. I think if I turn this off, wireless mode, I might be able to see throughput. I want to see throughput. That's all I care about, really. Let me press this button again. Recipe progress. Yeah, I'm not very confident that it's getting the signal. I don't really know how to test it though. So just for sanity's sake, I'm going to disable the machine and move the activity detector to the side over here. Maybe I don't want to actually. Hang on. How do I do this? Because if I move it here, it's going to trigger the Howard. I guess I can leave it there and put one of these strips. Put it right there. I think that works. Put the activity detector right there instead. This is just for sanity's sake. Yeah, let's try that. So if I enable this thing, jumpstart it. Yeah, I don't know if it's working. It's kind of tricky to see it because I can't read what's inside here without breaking the construct, so I'm not sure. And did I set this up correctly? Let me double check, because if I check over here, this guy. The activity detector is on low pulse, so whenever it starts over the craft, it's on receivers, redstone sides, if any. 15. Redstone control, that's it. That's all you need. Okay, so it clearly did something weird. I think it was working before. It's just not I'm not seeing it. Laser target hatch. You think it has something to do with the glass that I'm using? That has happened before. Glass shell has to be tier -3 of the highest capacitor tier. So that's what I have right now. I should be seeing this number increase, so why is it not pushing into the storage? Yeah, I have no idea. Do you think it's a glass thing? I don't think so, because I'm using UIV hatches for this one, I think. And the same glass. Yeah, I'm using UIV and this works fine, so it's not a glass thing. The only other thing I can think about is like how much blocks this thing can fit. Maybe it's too many. And it's not telling me. And you know what, now that I think about it, I can actually to make this even easier, I can totally just extend this whole thing up by 1. Because I forget that the Lapatronic capacitor actually grows. Never mind, it's only the glass. Never mind, it's not going to make a difference. I thought the casing went up too. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's not seeing this stuff. Clearly this broke it somehow. Because now it's saying 50% efficiency, and I don't really know what that means. So I'm assuming that maybe, let me disable machine here. I'm assuming that it was working correctly. But let me try something here. I think I'm gonna move everything up a block. Yeah, I'm gonna move everything up a block. There's something I can craft in Steve's factory manager, right? Something I can use to copy paste whatever's inside the inventory thing so I don't have to do it again. Manager duplicator, yes. Yes, thank you. Nibbles. So it's AS0. Put that right there. It's also just to clean it up a little bit because it does look kind of atrocious, right? Okay. Okay, how does this work? Do I right click? Shift right click. Shift punch it. How does this work? Does it not like oh, shift right click. Yeah, okay. Gotcha. Thank you. I'm gonna paste it over here just to have it there. Shift right click again. Yeah, okay. And then move it. I'm gonna move the receiver up there, just one up. And then break you. And then put this guy right there. Recipe progress. Normal. I think that's what this guy has as well. Yeah. And then a button to jumpstart the dude. And then I'll put the manager right over here. Oops. Shift right click you. Shift right click right there. Redstone receivers. There you go. Input tanks. Select you and you. Okay. And then output on you. Honestly thinking of using a relay because I want to be able to see what's inside there. But can I scan this thing and see how much fluid is in there? It doesn't really tell me. It does tell me efficiency though. I'm gonna turn it on again. Red alloy. Put it like that. Yeah, it keeps running out of efficiency and I have no idea why. I mean, you're able to get antimatter and the fluid, right? Like you have a lot of it on standby. Yeah, you got plenty. It is building up, but I don't know why the efficiency keeps going down. Unless I'm misunderstanding how it works. Let me read up on it here, actually. Okay. Every cycle, generator will react all antimatter and matter in hatches, instantly converting it all into energy directly. Depending on the matter used to annihilate. Yeah, I know that. So it really is just put stuff in the right order. So I'm not sure what it's trying to tell me with this value over here. The only thing I'm not really sure is if it's even working, like actually pushing the fluid. So let me just check on this if it's actually pushing the exact number of fluid that I wanted to. So if I push it, press the button, and check here, you're getting a different amount of fluid and I don't know why. So that's what's happening. You're not supposed to. So I messed up somewhere here. Each one should have been 210. That's 210. That's 210. So should I do run command once per target? I'm going to try that. And then pick this up. Give me that. Put that away. And all antimatter goes into here. So if I push it again, like that. Why are you getting twice? You're not supposed to get twice as much. That's why the efficiency is going down. How dare you? This one only has molten copper, and then this one only has semi-stable. The liquids. I'm not sure if it's actually looking at both. Let me try something here. I don't think this is actually going to do anything, but I'm going to try it. Or maybe set it up as input, right? Tanks, you have 2 of them, right? Target down. Facing south, we're going to do south, I guess. Just in case. Target, that might be what it's doing. SFM is a little picky with direction sometimes. Tanks, run command. I think run a shared command once is fine. And we'll do this. We'll just keep it like that. Liquids, don't worry about it. And then target. Place it north. There's 210 and 210. That's it. That's it. Is there anything in here? There's nothing in there. Push button. Why are you getting tough? I don't get it. It's not supposed to get 2 of them. You're gonna make me select do another kind of storage, right? Fluid storage, because this is clearly not working. That's weird though. Okay, let me do this now. Run shared command once. See if that does anything different. Still double. Maybe it wasn't updated? It's over here, right? Liquids. I don't want to put the entire amount of fluid there. If I was really picky about it, I would put it in the other spot, but no, I don't want to do that. Tanks. I don't know what any of that means. Yeah, you're trying to output there, but 210. 210, enter. Maybe that's what it was. I never like actually told it to enter it, maybe. I don't know. Let's see what that does. That didn't really do much. It still says that much. This is really weird. I don't really know what it's trying to do. Why you're getting double. It might have something to do with the wire, actually. Because it was working fine before. It's the wire. Okay. I think it's like working an extra time somewhere. So in that case, I need to figure out a way to connect this over up there, but one way, because I think it's like self-powering itself, if that makes sense. So what does that tell me? Give it a repeater. $210, yeah. I'm gonna try that. Right there, okay. So need to figure out a way to power this thing, but it doesn't actually do that. Does the repeater just work like that? I don't think it does. I'm honestly thinking just to use a wireless. Because I don't know what else to think. Someone give me a number, a random number for the frequency. Wireless activity detector. We're gonna try that. Connect it with a frame box. Aluminum, sure. Right there. Does that even work? I trust. It's a recipe progress. No, progress. I'm just gonna copy paste what you said. Copy. That totally does work. What is that? Your two-factor to your 2FA code? You may want to change that. Enjoy right there. Wireless redstone receiver. External. Put that right there. Use random. Do you have like a generator somewhere? Analog mode. And there we go. Okay. So. Oh, you do? My face just like lit up like crazy on the screen, right? Okay, that's good to know. Okay. So that seems like it solved the matter of the wrong amount of fluid going in there. Now, what happens if I... Hang on, let me put the fluid back. If I put the... if I start this up, but it's really hard for me to tell if this is filled because I don't have... it's just hard to see it. Maybe if I use like an inventory relay. What does that even do? Hang on. Yeah, I have no idea. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna trust that it works though. So if I turn this thing on, jumpstart it maybe. Efficiency is at 100, right? Now, how can I tell if it's actually consuming? I don't know. I can't tell if it's actually consuming anything. Efficiency, it says 100. 79. If I press it again. Goes up to 82%. So I don't think it's actually like moving any of the fluid. So this thing is not really working because I don't know how to get the activity detector over up there. So that should be the same frequency. Analog mode. Receiver external, yes. Because right now it's stuck on 82, which means it's not really doing anything until I push that amount of fluid in there with the button. And then it goes up. which tells me this thing isn't actually reading. It's not really doing what I want it to do. So how can I fix that? Does this thing not use an activity detector? That might be what it is. So the only other thing I can think about is just putting this on a timer. Maybe. So let me try that. Let me do analog redstone on interval. 1 second. Yeah, I broke it. Efficiency's going down. Okay, it's not that. On interval. Probably because it has something to do with that's weird though. Okay, and then now I need to see what's going on here. Okay, so I think what's going on is that maybe this thing just doesn't have an activity related to it, because it would be working fine. Yeah, that's weird. It just keeps trying to. It just puts more copper in there for no reason, like, but it doesn't do anything with the antimatter. So that's really weird. So I'm gonna disconnect this. So it's not that. So clearly it has something to do with this signal right here. It's not reading the activity detector. The only other way I can think about is, let me try this. Let's debug it. Let's try to figure out if it actually is the activity detector. Let's get a pulse, or not a pulse, a toggle bus. Or what's called latch. Yeah, latch. Toggle latch. How does this work? Every time I get one of these things, I have to like relearn how it works. And it stays on, right? No? I think so, yeah. No, there's another thing I'm looking for. I think it's like, I think it's just a regular latch. I just want proof that it actually turned on. In. Yeah, sure. No, we're just gonna do that. Put that right there. Then piece of wire right there. And a lamp. Right there. Okay. So aluminum frame box. Activity detector, yeah. I'm going to get everything out of this. Bye. No, antimatter belongs with me on this subnet. Okay, build the casing. So disable with machine. I think I'm breaking the efficiency here. We don't need that anymore. Okay, and then fix this again. So I'm gonna keep it on connections, redstone controlled, analog redstone 15 connected to you. Interval doesn't matter, redstone sides. Okay, just like that. On low pulse. Just like that, okay. So have a button here. I don't need the button. So disable with redstone. So the activity detector isn't really doing anything, but if I give it a fluid, yeah, that's the problem. The activity detector doesn't know how to understand this thing. So I need a way to like read it. And what better way than to just give it a timer? It's just a simple timer because I don't really have a way to read this thing. So what if I just give it a timer? But I can also connect that timer to this signal. Hang on, how does this work again? I don't like that though. It's very laggy. Get a lever to turn it off while I work on this. Should be able to do this, I think. And then break you. And then red alloy. Right here. So my thinking is whenever this thing stops, that feels way faster than a second. Yeah, because it's not working still. Yeah, lagging is a thing. You're clearly not even working. So what happens if I do this on high pulse instead? That seems like it's better. No, it's not better. Okay, so I need some way to reliably tell the time because it's not working very fast here. Make it 2 seconds. It's supposed to consume everything. Why is it not reliable though? It's a TPS thing, I'm pretty sure, because I don't know why else it wouldn't work. Run a command once per target, maybe. I always seem to put that option and it doesn't ever actually fix itself. Let's try that though. And we all know like how repeaters typically fix pulses. I don't know if you guys remember from our shenanigans over there, so I'm gonna add a repeater. Just putting a repeater somewhere usually fix pulses for whatever reason. Someone's gonna do it, even though it's not connected to anything. Watch, it just made it worse, even though it should not have done anything. Okay, if it's not that, then put the repeater on the top. So right here, timer right here. No, I want this to be facing upwards, please. Oh, fine. Like that. Right there. It's 50% efficiency, and I don't know why. Maybe it's because like there's like a time difference. one more thing. Target tanks. Run shared command once. We're trying to figure this out. It's putting the fluids twice, and I'm pretty sure it's still with copper again. It's doing the copper thing twice for whatever reason. I have no idea why. So what if I actually just put both fluids in one interface? Let's try that. So the repeater's not doing anything, so I'm gonna try something here. It's weird though, because whenever I turn it on with just the button, like it's 100%. Like it seems like it's totally reliable. Which is weird though, but when I give it an external signal, like a pulse, it should still do the same thing, but I guess the pulse breaks everything. So I'm gonna try to give it 1. Oops. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about you. I'm gonna see if I can get both fluids like that. So tanks, input. I don't know what happens. Output. Try to put both fluids out there. What even happens? I need to make sure it actually works first. Is it able to put both fluids? Because maybe that's what's one of the problems. It works. Okay. So it is able to work off of one interface. As long as both fluids are in there, that's a good sign. This thing has not turned on since, which is funny. Yeah, I don't trust the activity detector. I don't think it's actually doing anything. Unless there's like a different signal that you can give it. I'm not gonna do that. Machine enabled. I don't think it works like that though. Okay. So if I press it again, 100%. Okay. %, still works. Okay, so what if I give it a timer? That's the only thing I can think about it. I'm honestly curious to see what the, you know what, let's see what the wiki says. I know I don't want to, I usually say that don't look at the wiki solution, but I'm genuinely curious. Like, what is it, what are you supposed to do if the activity detector doesn't work? What is their solution saying? It looks like it's not even using a... Yeah, it's just sending things at a certain amount of, a certain tick speed. We're using pumps. Excuse me. Open computers. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. The heck? Nah. Yeah, Steve's factory manager. Let's do this. Like, this is why I don't like to follow the the wiki solution, because it's I feel like it's just too complicated sometimes. You don't need to do that much. But what's the... It is a timer. Okay, so that's what they're doing. It's a 5-second timer. Okay. So it should be just that. And I guess I don't need an external timer. And I can use the lever as a... like this signal here as a emergency shutoff. So let's try to program that real quick. and we reduced it because we figured out that I can just access both of them at once. So I'm gonna disconnect it while I try to figure this out. So I think we do want to use the interval every 5 seconds. I guess we'll do 5 seconds. On interval. That's basically it, honestly. How would I be able to control right here? Time between this command is triggered. While high signal on low pulse. Hey, I gotta go back to the wiki solution. Let's just look at it. Receivers, interval 5 seconds. Redstone controlled. Okay, so that's what it's doing. And what is this? I guess that's how the signal works. Oh, okay. So wow, high. I got you. I think I understand it. Okay, so it looks like while the signal is high, in my case, I'm going to use low because I'm using redstone on as a shutoff. Back to camera. So while low signal, this is going to be running every 5 seconds, but I also want to take a look at that button right there. So let's try that. So every 5 seconds, it should move the same amount of fluid. It looks like it's working just fine. And then I can use this lever as a shutoff. Also put back the howler alarm. Put that right there. Right, so if I have a lever right there, efficiency is 100%. That's what I want to see. And then let's say I run out of, or I have less than 1 million antimatter in here. This thing is going to turn on, which enables all of this. It becomes very annoying. Sorry. And then it should disable this thing and hopefully disable this guy. And I'm going to check in here if it did anything. It's still pushing copper, and I don't know why. But why only copper? It's so weird. Okay, so there's clearly something up with one of the signals here. While low signal, which is not true. Target liquids. Yeah, I don't know why it's only putting copper in there. It's really weird. But if it's only going to put copper, I don't really care. So what if I lose a little bit of power? Just let it go. Like, or is it a backlog thing? Is that how SFM works? Like, what happens if I break the cable here and then just put it back? Is it 210 each time? It might be a backlog thing, actually. Or maybe I just disconnected this thing, right? Yeah, I disconnected it. Like that. Why do you keep trying to put fluids in there, though? You're clearly disabled. While low signal, Select the strength range required for the redstone signal. Did I put 0? I don't know what that means. I'm scared. That might be what it is. What does the wiki say? 15:15. Redstone controlled. Time between the command is triggered. Yes. Let me show you guys again. And then this thing is connected like that. Inventory checks, we're using level emitter for that, so I don't need to worry about this one. Hatch check, I don't even know. Fluids and then move. I think so. We're basically just doing everything except for the checking because we have level emitters for that. And this thing is clearly connected to the 5-second timer, and then the middle one, or the second one. In our case, it's high signal. So maybe the high signal just isn't working correctly, or maybe I have to flip it because. Zero like that. Maybe that's what it is. Because that's flipped. $48.30. No, it's still putting stuff in there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I have to look into this. I don't know what's going on. We're 30 minutes past time, almost 3 hours in. Okay, I got to take a break here, but it's something small. It's something to do with some trigger over here. Probably what I have to do is like put a NOT gate, honestly, just to let's try that real fast. Actually, if we're gonna copy exactly what the oops, what do you call it, the wiki solution is saying. So the wiki solution basically is just saying, wow, high signal, and then set this to 15 so it only works on a signal of 15. And then everything else looks like it's okay. So whenever this thing is activated, it's going to shut this off and hopefully disable whatever's happening here. Yeah, okay, that seems to be working. So I guess I just don't have the... Some logic is not logicking, I guess. I don't know. So if I disable it, that should enable this thing. And then we should start seeing this work correctly. But again, we have a weird, like, why is it only putting copper in there? It makes no sense. That's so weird, though. Like, it works fine, but if it's not consuming, then it'll break, right? Magnetic flux casing. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it just doesn't know how to accept antimatter if there's already antimatter in there. Or what if I flip the two signals? Now I'm curious. Now we're like deep debugging here. Trying to understand how this thing is working. You're annoying me. Put that right there. I'm invested in this. What happens if I put the antimatter in the second slot? What happens then? There's nothing in there. Then connect this to target tanks U. So this thing should be running. Now what happens if it's flipped? Now the antimatter's going in there, so it does matter the second one, which is really strange to me. That's just really weird. No idea why it's like that. It's probably a quirk with the dual interface or whatever. So I think I'm gonna spend some time tomorrow in the morning or something trying to debug this. See if I can get it working without the dual interface. Chances are I'm probably just gonna have like an export bus or whatever, and have the fluids taken out like that. Maybe it's not such a good idea to be taking it from one spot like that. Maybe, I don't know. I'll debug it though. It's just a weird problem. It's SFM. There's some weird thing to it. Maybe I'm not fully understanding either how the like why is it ignoring my signal? All right, like it should not be ignoring it. So I got to figure that out as well. Because I'm still playing with it, and yeah, it's definitely ignoring the signal that I'm asking it to. It's really weird. I'll figure it out though. Anyway, so for now, a little bit of a longer one than usual. We're almost at 3 hours, but I was a little obsessed with it. That's how it is. Anyways, for now, have a good night. Take care. Thank you for your time and support, and I'll see you guys whenever I figure this out. Have a good night. Bye-bye.